Hello everybody, and welcome back to another tutorial video on yet another gold farm. It's almost like I like killing the little squealy things. Anyway, this is actually a tutorial that has been requested quite a few times. I released a promo video for this farm quite a long while ago. At the time of recording, it's up to 1,800-ish views, which is pretty cool. It's the most viewed video on my channel, and I always promised that I would get round to doing a tutorial, and it is finally here. This farm was... the inspiration was taken from a guy called Redstone Jazz, who came up with the idea of using the zombie pigman AI, and the fact that they move within a 32 block radius of the player. So at no point is there a pigman more than 32 blocks away from the guy in the middle over here. There I am. So yeah, all of them can move and will at some point move, and will usually fall off the portals into all of these water streams. Now, I love this idea. I think it's brilliant. His original design had either 2 or 3 stacked portals next to each other, and I originally built this on an SMP server. I originally built his design, and it caused an awful lot of lag. So what I wanted to do was come up with a solution whereby you still utilized the 32 block radius AI thingamajiggy. The farm looked gorgeous, and it was safe to use in an SMP environment. Now, what I've had to do is I've actually had to cut down spawning spaces. But because of the rate at which the pigmen move and the fact that they can all move, there goes one now, the rates are still really good. I've had this farm running for approximately 5 minutes now, I'd say, maybe a bit less. And if we look in here, that, and those 3 there, I picked that up just a little while back. So the rates are good. They're certainly not the best in the world. There are much faster gold farms, much faster zombie pigman farms, ones that will give you XP as well. But this was a personal challenge to myself, and I believe I have succeeded. I think the farm looks stunning, absolutely gorgeous if you ask me. I have obviously built this in a void world. I would recommend that you build it up high over an ocean to minimize the amount of lag that this might cause, because there will be a build-up of entities in there, as you can see. But they do generally die off pretty quick. But yeah, that is a little overview of the farm. If you do want to continue watching the video, it's going to be a tutorial on exactly how to build this step by step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut here, and I will see you soon, hopefully, in a nice blank new world. Cool. I'll catch you guys in a second. Bye. Okay everyone, so let's begin the tutorial. A couple of things to mention before I start off. I am currently building this in a modded world, so if you see things like Whaler and stuff pop up, that is why I'm using it, because it's got access to wands, which just makes it a lot easier for me to build this, a lot quicker for the purposes of the tutorial. But this is easy, well, I say easily, it's buildable in survival. I have done it myself, so yeah, I reckon that's about it. Let's get cracking. So first of all, you're going to want to start off with a 5x5 platform. This is going to be your AFK spot. It's nice and easy to get a centralized minecart elevator coming up the middle so that you've got a way up. I would recommend possibly putting it off to one side so that the entrance is here. That way you can stand on the central block and make use of the AI that this farm works off of. Once you have done that, you need to come out from your... you need to leave an air block around here. This is just so that you don't build into this area. It's just a way of preventing placing obsidian where obsidian should not be placed. From there, let's just pick up some wool. Let's go for black. You want to come out from this block here And you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31 blocks is 1 block shorter than the 32 range of the Pigman of the movement mechanic, but I think that works because then you've got that block there. That is block number 32. So you need to do that on all 4 sides. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to bring you back in. Okay, so once that has been done, what you're going to want to do is come 1 block down and start building a 63 wide circle. There will be a link to a circle generator in the description below. It's a very, very good program. It's called Donut Studios. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just put in your required measurements and it builds a circle for you, and you can copy that. But I'm going to fill this circle in, and then I will bring you back in. Okay, so then once the circle is in, you're going to want to come down underneath this and place 2 blocks going all the way around, like so. And you're going to want to fill in the entirety of the circle like this. This will be the wall of the funnels that take all the pigmen down. There'll be water streams going across here. The portals will be above. So I'm going to fill all these in, and then I will bring you back in. Okay, so once that wall's in, you're going to come down 1 more block underneath, like so. Punch that away, that's not necessary, and you're going to start filling this in. This is going to be the floor of all of the funnels, so all of the water streams are going to go on top of these blocks. This kind of process will take you a long, boring time, but it is worth it, I promise. Without it, the pigmen just fall to their deaths many, many blocks below the floor, where you can't pick up any of their items, which it would be sad. But yeah, this is going to take you a little while. I'm going to crack through it, and I'm going to bring you back in once the floor is complete. Okay, now that the floor is filled in, apart from this gap here, which we blocked off with the glass earlier, it's actually time to punch some of it away. So what we want to do is we want to go from the side of the glass here and go all of the way up to the end of the farm, all the way down to there, and we want to punch out all of this, absolutely all of this. Like so. You're going to want to do this on the opposite side as well. So I'm going to take both of these out, and then I will come back in. Okay, and once those 2 channels are out, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come up to where the glass is here, go underneath and create a U-shaped 3 high. So you need to come down 3 blocks from the top block, sorry, and then come across like this all the way up till the other side there. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fill this shape in all the way down this side and then mirror it on the other side. So I'm going to do that, and I will catch you guys in a second. Okay, so once you've filled in the bottom of the trench here and these walls, you're going to want to fill in this back wall here, come along to the side and fill in this bit as well, which will have been left open. After that, what you can do is come up to the top of your wall here and start marking out the corners of your portals. Now, I always use a different block in the corner because it doesn't need to be obsidian, and you save yourself well over a stack in obsidian if you're building this in survival, which is always quite nice. So yeah, what you'll be looking at is the corner of your portal like that, built up, etc. But what you want to do is you want to come out to, this is the last block in the circle over here. What you want to do is come along and place a marker block there, and then you want to skip a row, come down to the next row and go to the furthest point out, skip a row, next row, furthest point out, skip a row, next row, furthest point out, and carry that on all the way around the circle. What I tend to do is I tend to stop in the middle here and then start from the other side, just so that everything is in line for definite. this has been measured so you get the maximum amount of portals in the area. It's all quite nice and snug and neat. After that, what you can start doing is measuring out your portals here. Now, the maximum size of a portal in Minecraft is 21 by 21 blocks. Any more than that, and it will not light. So this is the arrangement that I have started, and I will show you how I come up with the rest of it. So the back one is obviously 9. That is going to be fine. So that can be a 9 by 21 high, and that won't affect anything. Next two along. Now, if this was joined together, this would be 23 blocks, I believe, which means that the portal won't light. So you have to split it in half. So I come out 11, center block, and 11 again. Once again, we're going to have a shared pillar in the middle for these two portals, which also saves you obsidian, which is nice. Next block along, 15 and 15 again, with the center block in the middle, naturally. 18 is still fine, center block in the middle. 20 is still fine, center block in the middle. After that, it gets a little bit more, not so much difficult, but different. What I tend to do is I come out 20, and then place my marker block there, which is going to be a pillar, and then I copy that onto the other side, pillar there, and that will leave me with a portal in the middle, which is what we want. So for this one over here, for example, I would come out 20, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, leave a marker block. Check to see where that is on the other side. So I've got to come out here. And then we can have another portal in the middle like so. And the rest of the portal down here. And that's all going to work out nicely for you. So, oh, misplaced that. Try not to do that if you're building this in survival. It won't end well. So yeah, so that goes all the way down. As long as none of the portals are over 21 blocks, in width, then you should be absolutely fine. The larger the portal, the quicker the spawning mechanic works. The more chances of having a Pigman spawn, because they do it per block of portal. There is a so many % chance of a spawn. So obviously, the bigger the portals you have, the more portals you have, then the better your spawn rates are going to be. For the central ones here, let me just find out where that is. That will be this one here. What you're going to want to do is, this is going to be the last one of the portals that comes all the way across. Any further than that, and it will start, I believe, interfering with the drop like that. Ah, you can actually get away with that one, it would appear. Can you? No, you can't. No, you can't. Okay, so it will be this one and this. I'm not measuring this one at all, but this will be the last one that goes all the way across like so. The Pigman will be dropping off one way or the other, but that down there, this line is the will be the full chamber kind of thing, the funnel that will take them down to their death. So you don't want to block this up with more portals, because they'll just jump onto your AFK platform. So what you want to do here is you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Place a marker block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like so. That needs to be a marker block there, and that can be carried on down to this point here. So that is that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill in all of these portals and get them all going for you, and then I will catch back up with you. Okay, so once all that is filled in, you should end up with something that looks a lot like this. If it doesn't, you might want to go back and check your measurements. But after that, what we need to do is we need to come all the way back down into here. And where you see the obsidian like this, you need to block this off. So what we're doing now is we're actually creating the channels, which these zombie pigmen will go down. These will all be water streams down here. So what they will do is they will fall off of the portal edges, one side or another, depending what side you put your trapdoors at. Like so. there will be a water stream here, which will push them into a water stream here, which will push them all the way down here. So that is something that you need to do on both sides. So I'm going to fill these in, and then I will come back to you. So once that is done, your farm should be looking something like this. Don't worry about this glass here. That is eventually going to go and let them through. But what we need to do now is we need to find a way of getting the pigment out without all of the water dropping down here. And the easiest way to do that is to come along here, placing temporary blocks. Could be anything you want. I usually use dirt if I'm in survival. And then what you want to do is place down some fence gates and make sure that they are open. This will allow the pigment to come through, but will prevent any of the water coming through. So I'm going to fill all of these in, and then I'm going to catch back up with you. Okay, so once all of that is done, your farm should end up looking something like this, with the addition of these here. Those are more temporary blocks that I've added onto the end, fence gates on top, and we'll just knock those out there. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start doing the water streams for everything. So this is how I've got the main channel here. What we've got down here is a row of signs where the water ends. One block back from where the water ends, sorry. And then a row of signs along here with another water source block over the top of it. I will just go over here and show you on the other side. So what we've got is water source blocks all the way down here. And then we go to one back, place our signs like so, all the way across. And then what I do is I come up one block and one back, and I place temporary blocks like so. And then once again, with our water sources across there, break those temporary blocks. That shouldn't create any infinite water sources. And then just go across like so, placing in more signs like this. And then that will allow the pigman through. Oh, I can't reach that. Like this. No, wrong way. Last one. There we go. Right. So what's going to happen is the zombie pigmen are going to go into this. They're going to travel along here, pushed by the water. They're going to get caught by this upper block, and they're going to get pushed down here. That goes all the way to the end. Don't worry about any of the water coming off, because obviously you've got these fence gates in here. Then you're going to want to do the same kind of technique in these side bits here. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to come inside and place your water source right at the end there, and that's going to push it all the way to the edge. What you will find is that quite a lot of the time it won't reach the end, so we're going to do exactly what we did before. Sign there, sign one up, one back, another water source block there, and that will eventually push them all the way to the end. So you're going to need to fill in the rest of this farm with water now. I suggest making an infinite water source very close by. Yep. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to finish all of these up, and then I'm going to bring you back. Okay, so after all of that water placing is done, you should end up with something looking like this. And doesn't it look pretty? Doesn't it look pretty? Like some weird watery black eye. Anyway, what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to come around here, and anywhere that you can envision seeing a pigman jump off, so from here, let's say, onto there, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build this up 2 blocks high, like so. And the same coming off here. So fill that all in. Remember, you are going to have pillars here and here, etc, etc. So you don't want them jumping down onto this block. You don't want them jumping off the edge and falling all the way to the bottom there, because you won't be able to collect their drops. But yeah, you want to do that. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to put in a whole glass wall going around this. I think it looks cool. It's purely for aesthetics. You do not need to do it whatsoever. But yeah, I'm going to fill all of that in, and then I'm going to catch back up with you. Okay, and once all of that's in, you should have a farm that looks something like this. If you have decided to do the glass walls, obviously that is how it will look. If you haven't, then you're just going to be left with these white bits of glass at the bottom here, or whatever colour you decide to choose. If you do these white ones, just remember to block off this back side here. I've done that in magenta just because of the rest of the walls. Now comes the fun part. It's time to start putting in all of the obsidian for the portals. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over to your marker blocks and pillar up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then a marker block. And then come down to another marker block and build up to the same height again. Let's just go all the way up here. Is that nearly there? Like so, like so. Take that one away, marker block. And then obviously bring it over to make your portal shape. I would recommend that once you've built the first one, you give it a little test with some flint and steel just to make sure that you've got your measurements right. If it doesn't light, try taking it down a block. But yeah, there we go. That is one hell of a portal. So I'm just going to break that, place that back. Right, now I'm going to fill in all of these portals, which is going to take me a long time. I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to catch you guys in a second. Okay, and after all of your pillars and portals are in, your farm should look something like this. It's pretty trippy and pretty majestic, I think. I've also put a glass roof on here. The tops of these portals are spawnable, so either light them up, put carpet on them, or as I've done, put a glass roof on. That just stops mobs spawning up there and then accidentally dropping in on you whilst you're AFK. But now comes the incredibly fun bit. Now is trapdoor placement. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come along the sides of the portals and put trapdoors on. The reason that we're doing this is because it increases the chances of mobs walking off and into these water streams. The Pigmen see this as a full block, so they see this as a legitimate travel path onto this block here. But obviously what they're going to do is they're going to be looking to go to that block there. They're going to come across here, and that's a very bad... There we go. And they're going to fall down into this water stream here. So that's what you're going to want to do. Make sure that you leave yourself a path to get back. I've had this before where I've come through and opened them all up, and then I've had to bounce all the way back to the central bit, and I've missed my footing and I've gone down here, and yeah, it's not much fun to try and get back up. But yeah, you're going to want to do this on every single side. Not every single side, sorry. One side of every one, because obviously you can't place a trapdoor in that space there. But yeah, just crack on with that, and I'll show you what your farm should look like after that's all done. Catch you guys in a second. Okay, all of the trapdoors are now in, and they are all open, so that means that any mobs that are on here will fall down into here, as posted in the last clip. Right, now before you light the portals, it's probably best to get the killing area done, because otherwise you're going to be full of angry pigmen. Well, they're not going to be angry, but they're going to be pigmen, and they're going to be all up in your grill, and you're not going to like it. First thing to do is to extend this platform out on either side in this direction. Just fill that in there, there, and there, and then take out this glass border that we've had here since the start of the tutorial, like so. Take all of that out, and then what you want to probably do is just build up a little border around it, just so that they don't accidentally fall off and fall into your area. So let's just finish that off like that. So this is where you will be AFKing. You can have your minecart, elevator or ladder or something coming up there, and you're right in the center of the farm. Nothing can get you. That is nice. Right, then what you're going to want to do is bring this down etc, etc. And you're going to want to bring this down to the lowest point that the pigman... Oh, that is incorrect. Let's just do that and that. There we go. That sorts that out. Break that. Yeah, so you're going to want to bring this down to the lowest point where the pigmen fall from, which in our case is down here. And from that point, you are going to want to go down by 30 blocks. The wiki says that you only need 24 blocks to kill them, but if you're doing what I suggested, which is to build it up high above an ocean, then you've got plenty of room to do that, to drop them by 30 blocks. And it just means that it's definite. They are definitely dead. They are the deadest dead thing around, hopefully. Hopefully it's not you. Hopefully you haven't punched one. But yeah, that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go down by 30 blocks from here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to catch back up with you in a second. Okay, so once you have got this inner tube of glass coming down, you're going to want to skip a block. So there's a nice gap here, and then you're going to want to fill in down to the bottom here with glass as well. So you end up with almost like a dual rectangle with a gap down the side. From there, chuck some hoppers down. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to put it straight into a chest here. This can obviously go down to a sorting system where you can sort out the rotten flesh and the golden swords and everything else like that that you don't particularly want. That can all be chucked away however you want to chuck it away, or smelt down the swords for more golden nuggets and stuff like that. But that is a very, very basic killing platform. I would also recommend putting carpet on top of the hoppers. Hoppers are obviously spawnable, and so if you don't want this filled with creepers and zombies and skeletons and stuff, then I would suggest putting carpet down or half slabs, because that will still pick up through the hoppers. Now, it is a fairly simple task to drop these guys down into a single water stream. All you would need to do is, from the center up here, is start staircasing down. I will use some wool here. So we will start staircasing down like this. This is obviously on the inside there. And then we will get down to here. And then drop it a little bit further down, and then you should be able to run it across here like that, and then down into one central point here. Same again on the other side, and then you can drop it down all together. So if you wanted to make an XP farm out of this or something like that, and you wanted to build the mobs up down there, so you could then go down and kill them, I believe 23 blocks will produce a one-hit kill. Maybe. I haven't researched that. But yeah, that is definitely possible. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break through here, make sure I do that, and there's my center. Come up, replace that. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to start lighting up the portals. Now you will start to get pigman spawns pretty much straight away, so make sure you don't hit them. Be safe with your bow, because if you do hit them, they will be coming for you, and that is no fun for anybody. You will also start to notice a drop in frames when you start lighting these portals. They are huge. They have a mass of animations, so your frames are going to drop. This is inevitable. If you are using Optifine, then there is actually a setting where you can turn off animations, and that saves your frame rate no end. If you are not using Optifine, then you can turn your graphics down, and I believe that does roughly the same thing. You just saw a zombie pigment spawn there. That is good. So let's go back this way, and I need to remember how I actually do this. I think yep, I think this is the right way. I think what I do is I come around the outside here, lighting all of these up, and then I go back through the center as best I can. lighting them all up along the way. You don't really want to go through any of these portals because that would create one in the nether, and that's not great because then the zombie pigmen are able to possibly go back into the portals, at which point you are then going to end up with a lot of zombie pigmen in your nether, which could cause a lot of server lag if you start loading up and suddenly there's 50 odd zombie pigmen sitting there waiting for you. That wouldn't be fantastic. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish lighting these portals. I'm going to let the farm warm up, as it were. We can already see some guys coming down. Yep, there's one there. Few more coming in here. Excellent. Starting to go. Yep, I'm going to fill all of this up and then going to port this world over into vanilla, just so you know that I'm not using any kind of modded trickery or anything like that. And I will catch back up with you then. So I'll catch you guys in a second. Bye. Okay then everybody, we are back. I'm now in vanilla. You can check top left there, Minecraft 1.12, the current latest update of Minecraft. I am in game mode 3. I have my other account here, weirdly not in his usual black and white skin. He is in survival mode. I've got him up on my other screen, so he is loading this for me. I am not. So, but yeah, as you can see, pigmen are coming in. There's pretty much a constant stream of them. You can see some of them up there on the portals. Yada, yada, yada. But yeah, plenty of pigmen coming in. I've had this running for about 5 minutes now, I think. Something like that. Just to get it warmed up. Let's just go down to the chest. There we go. Not a bad little haul already. I can't take those because I'm in game mode 3. Let's just quickly chuck myself into game mode 1, creative mode. Let's have a little look. There we go. So we've already got a nice amount of, well, I say a nice amount of gold there, an amount of gold there. All good. The farm is running well. There's not much more to say about this. There is potential to make this into an XP farm. What you would need to do is take all of the pigmen to a central point, take them all the way over here, bring them up on the outside of the farm, raise them up by at least 24 blocks, bring them this way through water streams, and then drop them down again in front of you. This farm should keep aggro, but what I would suggest is taking out some of these blocks of glass here, just so that your visibility to the pigmen is increased. Alternatively, you could pillar up slightly. That is also an option. That would also then give you the option of collecting gold bars as well as the nuggets. But yeah, it's not looking too bad at all. Still can't take them. Not going to learn, am I? But yeah, that is the gold cylinder. That is the tutorial finished. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please feel free to leave a like. If you don't want to miss any more tutorials or any more of the series that are on the channel, hit that subscribe button. And remember to tell your mother about all the zombie pigmen we're killing over here. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.